Tonight, round 2 this week for a personal duel that began at Lang Park on Wednesday. In the Raiders' corner, the power that is Big Mal.
Can he get there, Big Mal? Oh, yes, he's done it!
And in the Sharks' corner, the flying machine E.T., the extraterrestrial.
Ettinghausen, he's over the 22, uses the kit.
Just who gets to deliver the knockout blow, we find out tonight in round 8 of the Winfield Cup as Canberra takes on Cronulla. Yes, it will be very interesting, won't it, to see who comes out on top between Meninga and Ettinghausen. More importantly, and more interestingly there, just who walks away with the 2 Winfield Cup points. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the nation's capital tonight for this Nissan Friday nighter between Canberra and Cronulla, where it is absolutely vital for both sides. 3 points out of the 5. A loss could put them under a lot of pressure and maybe out of touch with that top 5 altogether. Billy Anderson, a lot of changes, and Canberra has been hard hit because of Wednesday night.
Well, that's right. They've already lost 2 players, Daly and Coyne, and they've got another 4 backing up, and they're going to be the worst for wear. So they're going to have to do the job, Graham. It's a very important game for Canberra. Now, we've asterisked those players on our team rundown, the ones that are backing up from Wednesday night. The Canberra lineup's Bell, Croker, Meninga, Boyle, Martin, Twigg, Stewart. Now, he's going to have to do more than catch and pass and catch and kick. He's got to run the football tonight. The forwards, Barnhill, Clyde, Gaffey, Lazarus, Walters and Todd, and the coach, Tim Sheens.
How do you see it?
Well, I think Cronulla's a little bit more settled, so I've got to go for them. I think the Sharks will win it.
All right. Well, it's just as important for Cronulla, as we said, but one thing Canberra's got going for them, Wayne Pearce, is that they're used to the cold down here. It's a real chilly one.
Very, very cold. I'm sure the wingers will get involved tonight. I don't think there'll be anyone standing idle out wide, but Cronulla really have to control the ball tonight. That's been their major problem so far this year. If they control the ball, they'll be in with the big show. They've got a good lineup at fullback, Jonathan Docking. On the wing is Alan Wilson, Andrew Ettinghausen and Mark McGaw backing up after the State of Origin. Paul Bell is on the other wing. Michael Elliott comes into the side in the place of the injured Michael Speechley. Barry Russell is halfback, and the forwards Ken Ebb, Gavin Miller, who's captain, Les Davidson, Danny Lee, Luke Massey, Craig Diamond, and the coach, of course, is Alan Fitzgibbon.
Are you a lot happier with this more settled Cronulla side?
Yeah, I think they'll be too strong tonight, but they have to overcome the voodoo. They haven't won away from home since last July.
All right, well, I'm staying with the Canberra Raiders here at home. Peter Peters, we talk about changes for the Canberra side. It's interesting how you can miss out on a football match, especially a man on the fresh reserve bench for Cronulla.
Yeah, he certainly can. Now, Mitch Healy was second choice 5'8" for the Cronulla side for tonight's game against Canberra, but he's locked behind doors in jury duty. He's on a murder case back in Sydney, and they wouldn't let him off jury duty to arrive in Canberra for tonight.
It might have been a Canberra judge.
It might have been a Canberra judge, but it's a good opportunity for a 19-year-old by the name of Michael Elliott, whose dad played with Penrith in the late 60s, early 70s, and he's from Bateman's Bay, 19 years of age, not far from here. It's a great opportunity for him.
Are you running with the Sharks?
I'll go with the Sharks, but gee, they've got a shocking record away from home since late last year. They haven't won a game away from home.
All right, so it's 3 going for the Sharks tonight. Wayne Pearce, Billy Anderson and Peter Peters. I'm staying with the Raiders. Can they do it with plenty of changes tonight? We'll find out right after this break when we return with the first half action.
Unlock the mystery of eternal life.
No one ever gets sick, no one ever gets old, and no one ever dies.
Discover the fountain of youth.
As long as we're here, keep getting older.
Journey to the most wonderful place in the universe. Home.
Hello, darling.
For the first time, Steve Gutenberg.
You're my favorite Martian.
Tani Welch, Academy Award winner Don Amici, and the rest of the original cast. Sunday, 8:30 on Capital. Experience the wonder of Cocoon: The Return.
You know, folks, Australians love good news. Don't believe me? Take a look at our telephone rooms tonight. They are just running red hot with people ringing in for free, no obligation valuations on their current car. Why don't you ring now? Maybe tonight's the night you'll save a lot of money. And for those of you who have just tuned in, here's Mr. Ivan Devison, Managing Director and Chief Executive of Nissan Australia, to tell you all about Nissan Australia's great 2-year free insurance offer, a first for Australia.
Thanks again, Greg. The insurance offer is really quite simple, but a very exciting one. If you hold a current driver's license and you buy a new Nissan Pulsar or Nissan Pintara, Nissan Australia will pay for 2 years insurance cover on your new car. There's no age limit, there are no exclusions. Remember, this exclusive Nissan Australia deal is open to everyone.
That is an absolutely super offer, Ivan. Absolutely super. And I'm sure that thousands of people will rush to take advantage of this great offer from Nissan Australia. 2 years, free insurance, fully backed by CIC Australia. And for the new car bargain hunter, take a look at some of these bargains. Nissan Patrol Nugget Diesel, tonight $19,990. Vector GL, $13,990. And Pintara Super Hatch, just $17,990. And the insurance offer on Pulsar and Pintara is a winner for both city and country buyers. Full comprehensive insurance, free for 2 years, backed by CIC Insurance, one of Australia's biggest and most reputable insurance groups. Now, tonight, for primary producers, here is an exclusive offer on Nissan Patrol diesel cab chassis. The Patrol is a special edition called Nugget. It's got a big, brawny 4.2-litre diesel engine, power steering, a big, wide and roomy cab, 5-speed all-synchro gearbox with dual drive and freewheeling hubs with limited slip diff. The new Patrol Diesel Nugget comes with the peace of mind of Nissan Australia's exclusive no-cost 2-year 40,000-kilometre warranty. Now, no other four-wheel drive in Patrol's class does that. Tonight, instead of paying the recommended retail price of $27,200, primary producers will pay only $19,990. That's a saving of more than $7,000. New Patrol Diesel Nugget. Stocks are limited, so hurry. Ring the number now.
Welcome back for Big Mal Meninga, his second game in 3 days. They will need a huge performance from him tonight to get the champions on track and in pursuit of the top 5 of the Winfield Cup. Still a good crowd here too, despite the fact that it is very, very cool in the nation's capital, around 5 degrees. A lot of changes to the Raiders. Eddinghausen, who was good for New South Wales Wednesday night. They'll be looking for some tries from him in this one here at Bruce Stadium. The Sharks need a win as well. Caneb, the last man out. And the Sharks supporters have travelled in some good numbers also. Hammer time, it says. We're about to find out about that. I just wonder if the Sharks are going to bite here in Canberra. Well, he believes they will. Maybe it's a gummy.
Well, we hope not. Cronulla's record away from home in recent times suggests they are gummy.
Ricky Stewart, he's been battling with a groin strain. They say he's not 100% fit going into this. Well, he will soon be found out. Lazarus needs a big one. There is a chance on offer in the State of Origin for New South Wales, second time round. We stand by for the national anthem. The referee tonight is Mr. Chris Ward for this all-important battle. Cheer going up around the ground here as the announcers welcome back into a starting lineup. Bradley Clyde. Clyde, who will pack into the second row. It's still a good back three for Canberra, along with Gaffey and also locking the scrum Barnhill. Meninga sends it down for the Sharks. Taken over the head by Docking. Back for Diamond, who had a season here with the Raiders, going back to 89. Diamond will play at about 12 metres out. Davidson, he'll be looking for a big one against this pack. And the big question mark, I guess, though, Zul, comes back to this Raiders six, who have really got to produce.
They certainly do, Graham, and they haven't been the side they were last year and the season before, and a couple of their big names in that pack tonight really have to perform. One's Brent Todd, and the other one is Glenn Lazarus. I've got a lot of faith in Lazarus. I think he's on the way back.
Miller really had no space. Good pressure from Canberra. That ball charged down. 6 more tackles. Luckily, it fell for Docking to tidy up. Ebb.
Graham, look for plenty of tough defence early. That'll test out any sore spots that are still there from Wednesday night.
Davidson slipping. Right on the 22. Diamond with his second touch of the evening. 138 points for Canberra, 147 against. Their defence has been letting in some big scores, especially the last time they performed here at the Bruce Stadium when Manly hammered them 46 points to 12.
Gavin Miller using all his experience here. Miller let that football go, and referee Chris Ward has fallen for it early in the game. Gavin Miller lets the football go. Thank you.
It's going to be such a hard task, isn't it now? How many players might take on the referee with the new... Well, the new rule is in from what, next round?
From next round, Graham, yeah. And I think you'll see players handing the ball over.
The Sharks with the restart. Taken by Paul Bell, and he's barreled by Meninga. Now, he lost it. Lost it in the tackle. Why wouldn't you lose it in this tackle? They upended him in unknown fashion. Crunch.
Yeah, Meninga on one side, and certainly he really put his full weight into that.
Well, I mentioned it's about 5 degrees. Difficult conditions, sir. Those hands, you want to get warmed up nice and early, Wayne.
Yeah, I've got a few icicles hanging off the nose here, actually. It's very, very cold down on the sideline. And as a matter of fact, there's a fair bit of dew on the surface down here. It'll make handling quite difficult for most of the match, so I'm sure the players are aware of that, and they won't be throwing too many risky passes, particularly early on.
Junior, I don't think that suits Cronulla. They're a fleet-footed side. They want to use their speed. Already we've seen Davidson slip, and I don't think it'll suit the Sharks.
Well, I mean, their problem for most of the season has been their ball control. That was their strength over the past couple of seasons. They've not controlled the ball well this year at all, and that's going to be a test for them tonight, for sure.
40 metres out from the Raiders line. Meninga looking for the kick from Stewart. He gets a lot more time than Miller had. Taken beautifully by Docking, running back towards his own try line. And he'll be wrapped up just inside the 22. Let's check the lower grades for you earlier this evening. Under 21s, the President's Cup 18-10 to the Raiders, and the reserves also 18 points to 14. Danny Lee taken. The Sharks have won the last 4 out of 6 in the clashes between these two sides. 0-0 at the moment. Miller, run around with Ed across the paddock. Taken by Michael Elliott. Now Miller, this time with another kick. Got it off the side of the boot. It will just stay inside. One hop over the sideline. Putting pressure on him.
Certainly, it's a good quick kick for Miller on his right side, which of course is his left side. He's a natural left foot kick. Cronulla forwards appear to be reluctant to run the football up. They've got to gain some superiority up front in this game. They just can't win it by spinning it out to their smart back line.
Steve Walters, who played so well for Queensland Wednesday night, can't get down into the scrum. He was one of their outstanding players. Well, congratulations to the Queenslanders and to Graham Lowe for taking first blood. Clyde. This side needs him at 100% fitness and running freely. One of the most damaging runners in the game. Todd.
And it's great to see Bradley Clyde with no strapping on his knee too, Graham. It indicates that there's no psychological problems about that knee at all.
Raiders fans want the Sharks back. Yes, it must really take a lot off his mind now. Little chip and chase. Bell is there. Oh, well, Bell's been hammered once by Meninga. Make it twice.
The young fella certainly knows where he is. He'll be warming up quick, Smart.
He's only just had time to recover from the first one. Now he covers up here, and Meninga crunches him again. The Sharks really haven't been positioning themselves properly for the kick. Miller. Turn, look for a runner.
Unusual for Cronulla to play their lock forward Ken Ebb in the dummy half position almost exclusively. It's not normally a spot you'd find a lock forward. This time they get their kick on line.
About 18 metres out from the Raiders line. On the 22 here for Canberra. Switching down a blind side. Trying to get a ball round the back was Twig. It hadn't been read, though, by Croker. Now, Canberra will put themselves under enormous pressure with this scrum feat for the Sharks.
A lot of young, inexperienced players in that Canberra back line with Croker and Boyd and Twig, and we've already seen some inexperience. Here's a penalty from the scrum, differential, and Cronulla should be able to get themselves into a good attacking position.
Now, Ebb, will it just be a tap restart? Straight up the middle. Happy to take this first tackle about 12 metres out right in front of the posts. Lee gets to about 7 metres out. Davidson from a long way back. Good tackle down low from Clyde. Russell. Miller 2 out. Run around for Russell. They slip again. Elliott. 2 inexperienced 5'8" in first grade taking each other on in this match.
Ricky Stewart just getting a mop of hair there too from young Elliott.
Now Eddinghausen got the kick in. Martin is there. Martin slips and just manages to get back into play. Bell. Bad passing from the Raiders. Crowd still on to Chris Ward. It doesn't look to be a big 5 metres at the moment. Croker will play it outside his own 22. Stewart. Kicking way over the head of Alan Wilson. That is a magic kick. That landed on a sixpence. Just inside the line.
Magnificent kick from Ricky Stewart. He is one of the best kickers in the game. And have a look at this for pinpoint accuracy. Down comes the Steeden, almost on the line. Beautiful kick. Real gamble going for that extra yard, though. That could have been a change of possession in front of their own sticks, only 20 metres out.
McGaw. Interesting on the footy tab tonight. 50,000 is the dividend pool. And punters have selected Canberra to score 14-18. The Sharks 8-12. Yeah, it wasn't quite John Croucher, that was it, Pete?
No, it wasn't, but I like your hair better.
He's torn a muscle in a computer finger, I believe. He'll be back with us next Friday night. Knock on. Steve Walter's asking a few questions of the referee. I'd like to have known what that was all about. Very simple knock on from Ebb. Not recovered, with any advantage by Canberra. Twig to Bell, trying to create an extra man. Beautiful low tackle from McGaw. Clyde getting round there quickly from the scrum. 0-0, Canberra and Cronulla, this Nissan Friday nighter. Twig, Meninga, here's a chance for them, showing the ball, holding off the defence with one hand, trying to keep it alive. Twig backs up, manages to pick it up. Stewart, Lazarus. Cronulla trying to get up very quickly on Canberra. Meninga, that pass out to Martin gave him no chance.
Well, you would not normally see Mal Meninga throw a pass like that. That's a sign of a side that's really struggling. But with his winger, no room to move, and Meninga normally would not pass that ball. There was just no way for the winger to go anywhere, Paul Martin, except over the sideline. Cronulla in possession.
Former Rothmans medalist Barry Russell nearly getting away, chased and brought down by Clyde. Massey. Good defence from Lazarus. needing plenty of support when he sets himself for those charges. Miller.
There's no support for Miller. Gavin Miller's go is not to take the ball one man off the ruck like that. They're really not playing with any purpose, Bill Anderson, in those Cronulla forwards at the moment.
Yeah, Gavin is a player that can do all sorts of things, can't he? He can use the ball and he can take the ball up, but as you've suggested, Pete, you know, his go is to use the football, and maybe the front rowers should be doing a lot of that hard yakka for him and letting him slot into, say, the third or fourth play the ball and try to put players into holes.
Well, they decide to go early and wide here, Canberra. Now they go back to the hard yards up the middle. Stewart. Clyde. Davison will be the man called out for a swinging arm in the tackle.
Yeah, and it was a little half one, and there was no need for it. Two other players had hold of Clyde. Here's Bradley Clyde in possession. Watch Davidson over the top. And no doubt about it, good refereeing, well picked up, and Davo's got no defence.
Well, I'm just wondering if the referee would be keen to come over and check the condition here of Clyde.
What he's done, Graham, he's pulled Gavin Miller over as captain of the side. Now, he might be going to take this a step further. Maybe it's one of those circumstances where he said, I didn't get a clear view of it, but I'd like to have a look at this one after the game.
That's right, Bill. It could be still mentioned in his report for the league to have a look at it.
Yeah, he picked it up very quickly, and it was one of those things that Davidson, right at this moment, would be regretting that he decided to do, because the player was well held and about to hit the deck anyway.
The Sharks have lost all 3 away games. The Raiders picking up 2 out of 3 here at home.
Ricky Stewart's doing a lot of catching and passing, and he's got a super kicking game. But for Canberra to really get back on track, he's got to run with the football.
That's the problem for him, though, Bill, with that groin strain. Trying to take off. Well, he tries to take off here. Something more to give them to think about. Another penalty for the Raiders.
This time against Danny Lee, so 2 of the big forwards, Davidson and Lee, giving penalties away, giving distance away, easy yards for the Canberra side. And Mal Meninga, who didn't kick all that well, State of Origin on Wednesday night with only 1 from 4 on Wednesday night, and he really needs to get on target tonight.
Interesting article in Big League out this week as well. Absorb available at all news agencies, as well as at the grounds this weekend in round 8 of the Winfield Cup. Mike Eden rating the current crop of goal kickers in the Winfield Cup.
Well, of course, Mike Eden, former Rothmans medal winner, one of the best kickers in the game. Tiny little fellow, could kick them left foot, right foot. Manly Junior went over to Eastern Suburbs where he won the Rothmans medal, and he rates Matthew Ridge as the top goal kicker ahead of the young fellow from Brian Smith from Balmain, which is interesting.
And he's got a big rap on Jason Taylor, who he thinks he has the potential to be the best of them all.
And he is a fine young kicker, as we've seen on Friday Night Football.
Meninga hits it pretty well, but it fades. Shows his frustration. 0-0, Canberra and Cronulla.
The biggest concert ever since Live Aid. The world's greatest stars in a global campaign for Kurdish refugees. Brad Robinson presents The Stars, the event, The Simple Truth, Monday on Capital.
Mates, they'll let you have that pass when they know it's too late. Mates, always hanging around to get you out of scrapes. Mates, how do you feel? I feel like a tourist. I feel like a tourist. Mate, like a two-week draft crew.
For instant heat that's hard to beat, go for Gold Air, portable, efficient and economical fan heaters.
Designed to be the best. Gold Air.
Gold Air heaters are available from selected electrical retailers, department and hardware stores.
What's the surprise tonight, Bob?
Bolognese with onions and garlic. Now close your eyes. I must add my secret ingredient.
It's a spaghetti sauce in a jar.
No, it's Lego's new Italian cooking sauce. Only Lego's is made to time-honored authentic Italian recipes, and they use only the freshest herbs, the finest spices. Autentico.
How do you do it? Lego's new Italian cooking sauces. That's how you do it.
I want to give you something special, 'cause you're special to me.
If you want to give your mum a gift with a lucky difference, give her a Tattersalls gift bag. They're great to give and great to get.
It's Triffitt's thumping great sale, round 1 Albany Street this weekend.
Don't go to the amateurs, we're flogging Leatherlocks, $99.
And $3.85, $7.50, $8.50, $9.95. Kitchen suites, every combination from $1.99. This dining's taken a caning down to $2.99. Every buffet and hutch, every wall unit.
Some with Nick's, $99.
Hundreds of lounges knocked down, $3.99, $5.70, $7.50.
Sofa beds, lane 8 from $2.99.
And Triffitt's are undisputed electrical champions. Oil heaters $125, mini systems $135, video players $2.99, videos $3.99, heavyweight washers $5.79, dishwashers $6.79, microwaves on the ropes $1.85, and 34cm colour TVs flattened at $3.49, 48cm $4.99.
All fringes ain't cold, 10% on cost.
Triffitt's Albany Street thumping great sale this weekend.
The Freedom Fighters!
Nissan Friday night from the nation's capital, and it's 0-0 Canberra and Cronulla. Stewart handing it back to Martin. Clyde trying to step, wrapped up very well by Diamond. Walters. He made so many metres up the middle against New South Wales at Lang Park. Barnhill trying to really power their way through the forwards. Walters getting clear. Quick play the ball from him. Opportunity for the back line. Meninga kicking. The ball looks as though it might beat everybody. Well, Bell was just leaving it, protecting it there for Docking. He had to go at it himself.
There's a reluctance from the Cronulla players to really get down to this football and get it on the deck. They were hoping then that that ball would go over the sideline. Canberra, on the other hand, appear to want to get dirty a bit more.
Denny Lee. 3 points away from the top 5, both sides. Geez, it is a hard task if they end up 5 away after this one.
Loser tonight, Graham, will do it very, very tough. Who would have believed that after 8 rounds of the premiership, we were talking about Canberra having to win a game just to keep in touch with a final 5.
Well, Chris Ward showing that he's already warned Cronulla. Now they get their warning, Canberra. Eddinghausen looking for touch. 5 tries from Eddinghausen so far this year. He's brought his own fan club. Bell runs into a dead end in Brent Todd. Massey. Lazarus was up quick. Todd lends another hand. Miller for Lee. 3-2. The Sharks have the penalties. Miller across the paddock, linking with Davidson. Davidson does have support, but I should say couldn't get it to Docking. Ebb. 5 players that work the ball right across the paddock.
And don't they look much better, Wayne Pearce, once they start to run on the ball from out deep?
Yes, they do. They've got a great back line, but as you say, they've got to get deep, and that's something that they haven't been doing over the past few weeks. They've also got to make sure that they give Gavin Miller a lot more support around the rucks.
No doubt about that. At 8 metres, 9 metres, getting past the 10-metre line now as they bring it away, Canberra. Barnhill. So far, it's a case of the forwards trying to out-tough each other, 0-0. Todd getting to the advantage line quickly, trying to turn this Cronulla side around in defence. Stewart cutting a man out. Clyde bumps off Miller. Nearly out to halfway, last tackle. Stewart kicking to the open side wing. Beautifully taken by Wilson on the run. Straightening inside Twig.
It's amazing they're taking little fairy steps, aren't they, the players, when they're confronting the opposition. It's very slippery out there, and the Cronulla players in particular are noticeably treading the light a little bit lightly out there.
Pete, it's not just the dew. The grass on this surface is a very fine variety, and players who wear moulded soles just can't keep their feet at all.
Well, Bell keeps his feet here until he's chased. Meninga must have a contact out on this young man.
He's fallen on the young fellow 3 times.
Diamond. Now Miller. Short ball again for Davidson. Davidson gets one back. Fumbled, knocked down by Barry Russell.
Yeah, there would have been 6 more had Russell taken it. I'm sure it touched a Canberra player on the way through, and it did, but Russell couldn't take it.
Now touch judge in. Calling out Mark McGaw.
McGaw's just signed another contract with Cronulla for another season. So Sparkles McGaw, who many thought may go to England next season and play. Kevin Iro leaving for Manly, and the Wigan club were keen on getting Mark McGaw amongst other players, but Sparkles has decided to stay a Shark for another season, 1992.
Stewart gets it for Twig. Twig brushes off Elliott.
A couple of rookies in the 5'8" spot, and Twig's had that little more experience than his Cronulla opposite, Michael Elliott, who's got to get hold of him, put him down. That's a bad mistake, though, by Twig there, losing the ball under no pressure just as he's about to play the ball, and the referee said, no, you can't have 2 goes at it.
Elliott. Elliott tries to get past Twig. He can't. Miller. Getting to that first receiver position so many times. 3 handling errors going against the Sharks, just the 1 against Canberra. Russell. McGaw. McGaw only got about 10 minutes in the State of Origin. Interesting to see what changes. State selectors come up for State of Origin number 2 now. Lee puts it down.
Well, Cronulla have had a lot more football than have Canberra. They've been inside the Canberra territory for the major part of this first half so far, but they've done precious little with it. Bill Anderson, they need to smarten up their attacking play.
Yeah, they don't seem to be working to any formula, Pete. It just looks like aimless ad-lib, but they're a side that if the opposition gives them a little bit of a sniff, they can do good things with the football, and plenty of pace out in the back line to capitalise on it. But I just think that Gavin Miller's probably got to take a little bit more control and get a bit more respect from the players around him.
Stewart. Dummying once, dummying twice. Getting clear. He's got support from Clyde. Clyde to his outside, he lets him go. Uses up Martin. Martin goes infield. Eddinghausen back there in cover.
And aren't they a better football team when he runs with the ball?
Now quick hands from Stewart. Gaffey. For a moment they were really on the rack, Cronulla, but they've got back to their line now. Boyle gets it back for Steve Walters. Straight into little Barry Russell, straight over him. Last tackle. Meninga at dummy half. He puts up a bomb. It's going backwards. He stays under it. Knocked back by a teammate, still knocked back. Now kick back. Still play on to the in goal. To the in goal. And putting it dead as Bell. Well, out of some scrappy play, they hung in the balance there for a moment. Cronulla, they were in danger.
They certainly were. There's the grubber kick through by Brad Clyde. What a fine player he is, and beautifully weighted. And the young Cronulla player, Bell, had to take it over the sideline with his knee. Excellent play by Bradley Clyde, who only needs match fitness to start roaring again in rugby league. What a magnificent young player he is.
The Raiders are coming back with 6 more. Straight to Clyde.
And I think he said, oh no. He hasn't played football for a long time, getting anywhere near a full game, and this is going to be tough for him tonight. But he's a champion and he'll come through.
And his positional play so far tonight's been outstanding on the fringes of the rucks. He's caused havoc every time he's touched the ball.
Lazarus playing it back for Stewart, who has started to spark up this Raiders outfit. Bell, Meninga doubling around. McGaw staying on him. Martin slipping.
It's interesting to note, too, that Mal Meninga's been a little bit reluctant to run with the ball tonight. He looks a bit flat. I don't know whether he's carrying an injury or whether he's just tired from the midweek game.
And Wayne, if Eddinghausen senses that, he'll take him on.
I think they're both allowed to be tired after Wednesday. Clyde stretching out, Eddinghausen in cover. Last tackle against the Sharks. That was the sort of bomb that Meninga was looking for, right near the post. Who wants it? No. Bouncing. Stewart gets it back. What a bounce. Well, the Sharks have been penalised for not going for the ball. Near your own post, you can't let it bounce.
Well, they thought it was a Scud missile. They all got out of the way. Ricky Stewart hoisted the ball to the heavens. Jonathan Docking looked under it and then had a look at the post. He was worried about that. It was perfectly positioned by Ricky Stewart, and there's the kicker claiming the try.
This one went so high that it was lost in the dark here when it got above the lights. Ricky Stewart followed it through. Jonathan Docking had a real problem there with the upright. That's always got to be in the back of your mind as a fullback, and Stewart came through and capitalised.
Ricky Stewart, who's got 3 tries so far in the 91 Winfield Cup, the development officer from Canberra. They're all smiles, the Raiders, so they should. Meninga, that's what he was trying to do a few moments ago.
Well, Canberra's kicking game is so much better than Cronulla so far in this game. There's pressure galore every time they kick, whether it's along the ground like Clyde or up in the air like Ricky Stewart there. Both kicks, one brought a try and the other one almost did.
13 from 25 this year for Meninga. He makes it 14. The champs at home now lead on Nissan Friday night 6-0.
Flowers in the Attic, the international bestseller, is now a compelling movie.
You must never be seen.
Imprisoned, then forgotten, their only chance for survival was escape. Flowers in the Attic, Saturday at 8:30 on Capital.
Hello again and welcome back to the Team Nissan Dealers Salathon, and thanks to the thousands of people who have rung in already tonight. The Team Nissan Dealers have been getting some really sensational valuations, and of course there's no obligation. Plus there has been incredible interest in Nissan's free 2-year full comprehensive insurance offer. That's the one where everybody of any age, anywhere, regardless of driving history, is eligible for. It doesn't matter whether you're 18 or 80. If you have a licence, then you can get the offer. And it's fully backed by CIC Insurance, one of Australia's oldest and most reputable insurance groups. The 2-year free insurance offer applies to all new Nissan Pulsars and Pintaras for a limited time. So it certainly would pay you to give us a ring right now or see your Nissan dealer very soon. And talking about Team Nissan Dealers tonight, they have these sensational specials which will save you a lot of money. Especially the Pulsar Q from only $15,990. Why Pulsar Q? Because it's the luxury and value leader in its class, with a superb 4-speaker sound system, power steering, power disc brakes all round, a 1.8-litre fuel-injected engine, limited slip diff, plus the luxury of inbuilt quality cloth seats and trim, as well as thick pile carpet. Now you can get a Pulsar Q at the Salathon price of $15,990. And from tonight, it also includes the full comprehensive insurance policy for 2 years, absolutely free to you. And what a tremendous insurance policy it is with your new Pulsar Q. It's fully backed by one of Australia's oldest and most reputable insurance companies, CIC Insurance. Ring 131616 now. Find out how much your current car is worth by getting a no-obligation trade-in valuation, and give us your name and address and current car details, and you'll also have the chance to win this fabulous little Pulsar GL. All the specials are for a limited time, so call 131616 right now. Jump on the phone, do it straight away.
What? This medicine costs $87.
But doctor, I couldn't afford that.
But as a pensioner, Mary, and with the government subsidy, all you'll pay is $2.50.
Oh, that's better.
You're a lucky girl. I'll never take anyone else's medication again, Doctor.
Good. Even if the symptoms are similar, it can be really dangerous.
I know.
Tonight's Nissan Friday Night Football is proudly brought to you by Nissan and Tooheys Draft.
6-0 to Canberra. as the Sharks come back to halfway.
Yeah, and Canberra have soaked up just about everything, and it hasn't been much that Cronulla have thrown at them so far. And when they've had the ball, we've seen Stewart make breaks, and their kicking game much better, as I said, and they're looking very good early in this game now, Canberra. And another try, and they can go right on with this.
Martin will play it in front of his post, 12 metres out. Todd. Tim Sheens alongside of him, Laurie Daly, who has really suffered some injuries the last couple of seasons. A cork muscle, apparently he would have been ready if this match had been on Sunday.
He's getting aware of that too, Graham, that he's missed a lot of games and he desperately wanted to play tonight, but gee, it was only Wednesday that he played, and you can't get over corkies that quickly.
No, not at all. He made the right decision. Docking. Clyde is down there to make the tackle.
Cronulla forwards very slow to get back. That was a good kick downfield, but at this stage, 5 of their 6 forwards aren't back yet.
This is the area where they've got to work. Diamond gets back there to do his share. Not giving the Canberra defence much to think about, just running one out. And that's how they're going to be punished for it too.
But in previous years, we've seen Cronulla doing a lot of darting from dummy half, quick play the balls, playing the game at 100 miles an hour, which have had the defending side trying to struggle to get to rucks, and that's not happening here tonight.
It's certainly not. There's Eddingshausen putting the ball downfield, and he's really, if they're not going to get him the ball, he's got to go looking for it.
Yeah, the thing is, when you've got players like McGaw and Eddinghausen, you're going to play to them because they're your strengths, but there are a lot of other things that need to be done first. You need to get that good field position, you need to get to play the balls in a part of the field you want them to, and then give them good, quick, clean service. That's not happening. Cronulla just aren't playing out good, strong sets of 6.
Steve Walters just showed them how to run from dummy half. Now Twig. 49 tackles overall possession for the Sharks. It's pretty even as Lazarus is allowed to stroll up the middle. One more tackle for Canberra. Stewart starting to terrorise Cronulla with his kicks. This one will be too deep, but only just.
There wasn't much in it. Ricky Stewart disappointed that went over the dead ball line too. Even lime green mouth guards here in the green machine. Everything's green.
Well and truly the green machine.
And my fingers are blue.
It's nice and warm in the box, Bill. Kenny Ebb. 6-0 to the Raiders. Denny Lee. Lazarus trying to get a hand in there in the play of the ball. That ball was forward to Davidson. The crowd are letting Chris Ward know all about it. Elliott keeps this kick low and away from Bell, but it dies on him.
And that's a good indication of just how thick that grass is over there. It really doesn't assist the kickers at all.
Wayne, the importance of Michael Speechley at 5'8" to this Cronulla side.
Well, his biggest asset is his defence, and I mean, with Bradley Clyde running so vigorously on the edge of the rucks, he would certainly be missed out there tonight.
32 out from their own line, Canberra. Twig.
Great tackle there for the Cronulla side by Big Craig Diamond.
Stewart again with the kick. Docking is hurrying across. The ball will break back towards him. Once more, Clyde is down there. Twig's got him. Now, here's some pressure. You said about the Cronulla forwards getting back slowly. Here's the second tackle.
Great tackle by Bradley Clyde.
And they're now 4 metres out from their own line, and we've still got the pack to come back yet. Wilson coming in off the wing.
The New South Wales selectors won't want lots of reasons to put Bradley Clyde in the New South Wales side for the second state of origin. Now, the way he's playing tonight, if he can play like this for the entire 80, and it's a big ask because he's played precious little football, then he's got to be a chance. He's such a fine player.
But also the interchange rule will help him anyway. Even if he can only get through 60 minutes, the interchange rule will be a big asset to him.
Certainly will be, Junior. He's playing well.
He's having a big game.
Now Bell switching with Martin. Wrong foot in the Cronulla defence. They're building to something again. The momentum has really swung towards Canberra.
Yeah, everything they're doing is a metre or two faster than Cronulla.
You can almost smell another try at the moment.
Well, you can bet that they'll take it for as long as they can, and then the kick will come and more pressure for Cronulla.
Good short balls amongst the forwards. The difference between the two packs, Canberra are hunting together. Right in front of the post, this penalty. Ward said he wasn't allowed to his feet quickly enough. They had them going backwards. He was getting up.
I think there's too much deep-sea diving going on. I think the referee, who's very experienced, right in front of the post there, I think he was conned, and so does that young fellow, Ken Ebb, who was away from the man, and the player took a dive, and I can't understand how referees can fall for it so often. I mean, this fellow's been around for a long time, as you can see, and he certainly should be able to handle that sort of thing. I mean, the player took a dive, blatantly so.
Well, congratulations to Chris Ward and his family anyhow, Zorb. His wife Carmel presented him with a baby son, Andrew, on Tuesday, so they'll all be more than pleased.
They certainly will. At his age, that's a fine effort.
Now Meninga. From right in front. Meninga gets 2 more for Canberra. A costly penalty. 8 points to 0 to the Raiders.
Penrith better not get too comfortable. The Magpies power pack is fully charged and ready to explode. Who'll be the best in the West? It's a bruising test for both sides when Penrith take on Wests in the MMI Big Game at the new time, Sunday 6:30 on Capital.
Hello again, everybody. From tonight, there has never been a better time to buy a new Nissan. Why, you say? Well, because from tonight, for a limited time, Nissan Australia will pay 2 years full comprehensive insurance on your new Nissan Pulsar and Pintara. CIC Insurance Australia provides the insurance. Now, this offer is even so good that your no-claim bonus and other benefits are automatically transferred. It's a great deal. Plus, you get Nissan Australia's exclusive 2-year, 40,000-kilometre no-cost factory warranty. Now, think about that. It's not an extended warranty like you'll pay for elsewhere. It's 2 years, 40,000 kilometres, no cost. And that's 2 years' peace of mind with every new Nissan Pulsar and Pintara sold. Now, to save you even more money, your Team Nissan dealer has these super bargains for you. Nissan Patrol Nugget Diesel, tonight just $19,990. Vector GL, $13,990. And Pintara Super Hatch, just $17,990. And of course, the insurance offer on Pulsar and Pintara is a winner for both city and country buyers. It's the full comprehensive insurance for 2 years, backed by CIC, one of Australia's biggest and most reputable insurance groups. Now, tonight, for primary producers, here is an exclusive offer on Nissan Patrol diesel cab chassis. The Patrol is a special edition called Nugget with a big, brawny 4.2-litre diesel engine, power steering, a big, wide, roomy cab, 5-speed, all-round synchro gearbox with dual drive and freewheeling hubs. It's also got limited slip diff. Tonight, instead of paying recommended retail price of $27,200, primary producers will only pay $19,990. Now, that's more than $7,000 saved. So ring 131616 now and get your current car valued and go into the draw for this Pulsar GL and ask about this particular special. Ring the number now.
G'day. What's the problem?
Oh, the old dear's chucked it in.
No worries, I'll give you a hand.
Oh, thanks. Gee, she's flash.
It does the job.
It's a Nissan.
That's my car.
8 points to 0 to the Raiders on Nissan Friday night. And it's been an impressive Raiders too here at the stadium in Canberra. That's a tough job sideline tonight.
Certainly is. 8 minutes remaining in this first half, and Cronulla have really got to get their act together. They're trailing by 8 points to 0, and at the moment, this Canberra side are growing in strength at every time this fellow touches the ball, Bradley Clyde. He's going looking for it.
Todd bringing it away inside the 22. Well, there's no doubt that they miss The talent of Laurie Daly, out injured tonight. He's sidelined with Bill and Wayne.
Congratulations, Laurie, on tonight's performance. Things not so good on Wednesday, but it's looking a lot brighter.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, the boys are playing with a lot of enthusiasm tonight, and they sort of know if we lose tonight, it's going to make it tough for us. And Laurie, a very disruptive week. Up until the start of the game, players still dropping out, with Gary Coyne dropping out an hour before the start of the game. How much has that affected the team's preparation? Well, you know, I suppose it hasn't affected them that much because they've been training without us all week, and the players out there are doing a great job, and hopefully we can just keep continuing on through the game. All the best with the recovery, and congratulations on a great game the other night. Thanks very much, Linda.
Laurie Daly, who got that try late in the game to give New South Wales a chance at a draw. The Sharks lose it. Quickly, the call went to go wide. Cut out passes. They need the ball to sit up. It does just that for Boyle. Boyle was caught by Diamond, who was very wide. Clyde. Well, you'd think he's played about all 8 matches so far in the Winfield Cup. He's been everywhere.
He certainly has, and he'll want that half-time to come very quickly. But Canberra, because
well, here they go through Bell. Ankle tap by Ev. Great ball that was set up by Meninga. Steve Walters starting to do a lot more running. He gets it to Barnhill.
And it's no wonder that Steve Walters is so hard to tackle. At 93 kilos, he's got to be close to the biggest hooker in the game.
Yeah, Johnny Sattler gave him a lend of his legs when he retired. They're the biggest legs since Sattler.
He uses them well. Wilson getting a one-hander to Eddinghausen.
His shoulders aren't too small either.
Little pocket, isn't he? Real dynamo. He's put some pressure on Kerrod Walters to try and get back.
Kerrod Walters couldn't get back after the way that Steve Walters played last Wednesday night. You know, you couldn't drop the man. He was so dominant, and I think Kerrod knows it.
But when you're 93 kilos, you can easily back up in the second row.
Well, here goes Docking. Stewart getting across in cover. He cuts Docking off as he was looking for support. Diamond. Against the run of play, the Sharks trying to come up with something.
They've got a big back line screaming for the ball.
Russell goes to the back line. Davidson charging onto it on the last handover. That's where it'll stay.
There's the difference between the two sides. Cronulla on the last tackle, still trying to bustle their way up the centre. Canberra would have kicked for the corner, kicked for the wingers, or else hoisted one high. That's the difference, and is paying dividends for Canberra.
Lazarus. 8-0 to Canberra. Steve Walters. For Clyde. Stop. Then a restart. In behind the defence. Elliott really had to clap on the pace to trap him. Boyle. Boyle straightening. Boyle will have support inside if he can see Tweed. Russell got there in between them both.
That was like a waltz in the garden for that young fellow.
Stewart. Showing the ball. Meninga was screaming on his outside. Last tackle. Meninga. The defence holds back. Tweed. Still standing back. Tweed pushes it back for Meninga. Oh, that's great thinking.
Certainly was. Mal Meninga on the spot. Left it there. Almost left it there. Rugby union. Maul style. The try for Mal Meninga. Cronulla have opened up like a can of sardines. Don't call them Sharks. Look at this. Meninga on the Nissan replay gives it to Twig, and Twig.
He's ever scored, but he was right on the spot to pick it up. And excellent thinking.
Well, we saw David Boyle go for an absolute waltz through the Cronulla defence, and after he had his run, it was the turn of the young fellow Michael Twig. It's all too easy for Canberra every time they run the football at the moment.
It's simple for the Sharks. They've just got to get up and amongst them. Try and bustle this Canberra side, but they're not even moving up.
They look like sardines at the moment.
Meninga didn't strike it all that well, but he gets the goal. Canberra now go to 14 points to 0. The Sharks slowly back to halfway too. They haven't had a lot of possession in the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Graham, they've really looked like cracking them. I mean, we have not seen any free-flowing ball to the back line. I know it's a disjointed back line with a youngster, Michael Elliott, at 5'8", but, you know, he's only got to shovel the ball. He has got Eddingshausen and Magore outside him, Wilson and Docking. I mean, they're capable players. They've got to get into this game. Their forwards, though, are letting them down. They're tackling like paper men.
Yeah, Lane and I obviously don't have the, statistics here at our beck and call, but Cronulla to us just don't seem to be playing out any sets of 6. I think they would have hardly completed any.
Martin. So you've got to earn whatever you can, but you get nothing for free. Now Boyle. Not quite so sure about that. Nissan's proving everybody wrong this weekend. How would you like to buy a new Nissan Pulsar and Pintara, Zorb? You pick up free insurance for 2 years.
Fantastic saving, isn't it? Absolutely superb.
Even the way Zorba drives. I've seen you, Zorb.
Big premiums. Tweet. Docking is there. It should be an easy one for him. Not so easy to get away from Meninga and Clyde. One of the littlest men on the field comes up against two of the biggest. Bell taken by Martin. Now they're in a bunch, Cronulla. Lee. They leave it to Lee to take it one up.
No support there. Very disappointing from Cronulla.
It certainly is. I'm amazed. Their away record is shocking, and we're seeing why in 1991. I mean, it's a side that was so consistent under Alan Fitzgibbon for so many years, but Fitzy, who really doesn't mince his words when he has to, really has got to get into this side at half-time. They need something.
Miller with the kick down to Bell, which will be no problem at all. Now he goes to the open side with a chance to Meninga. Magore's chasing. Back for Bell. Now Bell had looked to get the ball out again, and he had slipped to his knees. In the end, he took a fairly high one from Magore, but that was because he had gone low to the ground.
Yeah, Mark Magore went back the other way, and certainly Magore was entitled to make that tackle. Nothing wrong with it. Bell's nose will be a little bit different tomorrow. He should see Gavin Miller for instructions and just work out what to do.
Magore floats it for Docking. As the siren goes, Boyle traps him. And the Raiders are warming the hearts of their fans here in a cool nation's capital. Impressive first half display, especially missing some big-name players. At the break, they lead 14 points to 0.
You want him to hurt?
Yes, I want him to hurt.
Here it is.
You murdered her. And you lied to me to help you get off.
The episode that sent shockwaves across America.
It is going to affect our friendship, isn't it? No.
See it for yourself in LA Law, Tuesday, 8:30. Then...
You're murdered.
Jump in headfirst for fun and games.
Games? I saw so much.
What does Bob want?
Twin Peaks is just the ticket.
We leave tonight.
Tuesday, 9:30 on Capital.
Mites, they're always there to keep you up late, yeah. Mites, they empty out your fridge, make a mess of the place. Mites, how do you feel? I feel like a tourist. I feel like a tourist. Mites, like a two-week drive through.
Still nervous?
Sure.
Sorry. Don't worry about it.
Cheese on 12 race. Cheese on 9, please.
You're on your own now.
There's nothing to worry about, okay?
Is that cheese on 9? Yes. 9.25, thanks, sir. I think you lost somebody. Thank you. And enjoy your meal.
And all the other people there are really nice.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you're on again tomorrow.
Oh, you mean it's still today?
What are you laughing at? You're on for breakfast.
Oh.
The trouble with most toasted mueslis is they're heavy in fat. Kellogg's Just Right, however, has far less fat than toasted muesli, yet its wholesome blend of whole wheat flakes, rye, juicy sultanas, honey, oats and the goodness of bran gives you a truly satisfying taste without that sinking feeling. Not too heavy, not too light. It's just right. From Kellogg's.
Johnny Ferguson is a man who knows how to perform under pressure. So when it comes to clothing that can take all the rough stuff, Chica goes to one place.
Working gear for all your clothing requirements.
Clothing so tough, even Big Mal couldn't break it.
That's tough.
Working gear, Paragon Mall, Gladstone Street, Fishwick.
Huge savings at Hellier's, Fishwick and Belconnen. Proline golf bag now $89. Seated buggies $85. 12-piece sets with metalwoods $499. DDH and Top Flight 15 ball packs just $29.95. That's right, $29.95. Top quality boxed golf balls all just $26 a dozen. PGF status clubs an unbelievable $799. All Niblick shoes at cost plus $2. So rush into Hellier's Golf Centre, Belconnen and Fishwick.
Nissan and Tui's Draft are proud to be associated with Channel 10's coverage of Rugby League.
Welcome back to the Bruce Stadium in Canberra on Nissan's Friday night, where the Raiders have been very impressive before the break, 14 points to 0. Cheer goes up as Meninga brings his side back out for the second half. Meninga picked up a try in the first half. So did Stewart. Last man out. And Stewart and Meninga both showing good form, backing up for their second match in 3 days, and showing good form is Bradley Clyde. The Sharks in a lot of trouble. They've got to dig deep here. They've got to get involved in the first 5 or 10, come up with a try. Miller's the man that can lay it on with his ball skills. He hasn't had much support. 102 tackles made by the Raiders in the first half. Todd and Gaffey with 14. Clyde was just behind them with 11. 99 for the Sharks. Lee with 15 and Diamond with 13. The telling factor, of course, is that one. 13 missed tackles by the Sharks. And the Raiders administrators here sending that sign on the scoreboard to all Raider mums. Have a happy Mother's Day. Well, to all mums everywhere. Hope it's a good one for you on Sunday. Got some big plans in store, making breakfast on Sunday morning?
She's not my mum, she's my wife.
Well, you are making breakfast.
I am. I have to.
Good to see you get out and do a bit. The Sharks. 14 points in arrears. Clyde. Really showing that he's getting back to fitness very quickly. Much better defence, although Davidson slipped off the tackle on Barnhill. Lazarus shouldering some players out of the way. Steve Walters, if you leave the door open for him, he will go straight through.
Isn't he in mighty form? I mean, this game tonight on top of Wednesday night has just reconfirmed that he is a class act.
Docking. Allowing that ball to bounce, and then Meninga sweated on him and hammered him to the ground. 2 metres out from his own line. Right from the start of this second half, the Sharks in more trouble.
What a terrible start from Canberra, from Cronulla. Canberra went 100 metres then from that kick-off. They just rucked the ball down and put a good kick and chase on the end of it. That's not the start Cronulla would have wanted.
Chant going up from the Raiders fans now, lifting this side to bigger and better things in this second 40. Back it goes for the kick. Falling easily for Croker. Right on halfway. Well, Bill, what was the halftime wrap?
Well, in the Canberra room, Graham, Timmy Sheens thought it was the best 40 minutes the Raiders have played all year. They never made one mistake coming out of their own quarter, and he maintains that if they can keep up the good field position, the points will come.
And Bill, it was the opposite story in the Cronulla dressing room. Very disappointed with the handling was Alan Fitzgibbon. He wants his side to show much greater ball control. He wants his forwards to use a bit more muscle, and he wants them to score the next points, otherwise they're gone.
Well, they open up again in the middle there. Difficult ball taken well by Boyle. Great hands from Stewart to drag that one in. Last tackle, really starting to open up the Raiders. Twig. Bomb coming down for Docking. Climbing for it was Croker. And now it will be Alan Wilson who just allows it to go over the sideline. Everybody wondering who's got the feed here. It should be a Sharks feed.
And Craig Teevan is also on the field. He replaces Michael Elliott.
The difference between Cronulla at home and Cronulla away is absolutely amazing. They compete at home, they play brilliant attacking football. Tonight, they're just not in this game of football. Almost a scrum win against the feed, just right back at the last minute for Cronulla.
Wilson. 14-0 to Canberra. Danny Lee always willing to take it up to the line. Miller. Better support. Really does take the pressure off when you have somebody running with you. Instead of hitting the line and hitting 2 or 3 defenders like that, you're only met one-on-one. Todd is the man that's going to be ruled offside.
And then arguing with the referee. I mean, he is well inside.
Well, Todd's arguing that he was there as marker.
Yeah, but Docking just ran straight into him. Here it is on the replay, and no shadow of doubt that he was inside the required area and wasn't indeed in the mark-up position.
39 metres out. Stewart gets some attention. Only 12 in the defensive line at the moment for Canberra. Tries to get back there quickly. Ebb. Now it's time for the likes of McGraw and Eddinghausen to really stamp their own mark on this match. They've got to go looking for the ball. Miller to Davidson. Docking, listening for instructions in the dummy half roll. Teevan out there in 20. Ebb looking for runners. Docking wasn't expecting that. They weren't even set, Cronulla, and yet they're on the 22 of Canberra. Last tackle. Eddinghausen. Massive bomb coming down. Canberra getting back there to protect Bell. He went too early. He loses it. We've got another bomb, and we've got another try. Well, Canberra did the right thing. They all got back there to protect Bell at fullback, but he climbed too early and badly judged it. Massey was there.
Massey was there. A great kick from Andrew Eddinghausen. They've learnt in the first half. Bill Anderson spoke about the dark spots up high, and here it was, Bell going up, and there he was, Luke Massey on the spot for the try.
Yeah, it was a good kick by Eddinghausen. He gave it plenty of height and gave his runners time to come through on it. We can see them coming through here. There were a mass of green and blue bodies, and it was always going to be pot luck after Bell had made the error, but the lucky person, Luke Massey.
Luke Massey, young man at 20, gets this game alive for Cronulla. Meninga knows that they really had it on a roll down at the other end. Couple of mistakes, couple of penalties. Wilson from next to the posts. The Sharks are back in it. On Nissan Friday night, it is 14-6.
They've come home to share the secret of eternal life.
Hello, darling.
Steve Guttenberg, Tani Welch, Academy Award winner Don Amici and the rest of the original cast in a wonderful premiere Sunday on Capital. Cocoon: The Return.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks.
Morning, Possum. Congratulations, Mum. How do you feel? 40 years. Wonderful. Never felt better.
Your nanny is as beautiful today as she was the day we were married.
Can I have the Kellogg's All Brand, please, Mum? No, darling. Oh.
Mummy, will you be a grandmother too one day?
No.
Statistics indicate that 1 in 24 Australians will develop cancer of the bowel. The Australian Cancer Society recommends that a diet high in fibre and low in fat may help prevent these bowel cancers.
I'm planning on being a great-great-grandmother.
As part of a high-fibre, low-fat diet, choose Kellogg's All Bran, the highest in soluble wheat fibre cereal.
Angus & Coote present for the first time an exhibition of Ladro and Nao figurines selling at up to 50% off normal. It's a Mother's Day gift spectacular with unique collector's pieces on show and orders taken at special prices. Famous brand Bohemia Crystal is selling at 30 to 50% below normal. There'll never be a better time to buy a special gift for Mum from Angus & Coote. The savings are enormous. This Mother's Day, remember Angus & Coote, the place to go when emotion needs expression.
What do you think about this balance of payments thing?
Don't really.
I mean, every time someone imports something, they send out money overseas to pay for it. So, that means we're paying for a lot of jobs over there instead of over here. Doesn't seem right, does it?
No. Doesn't seem right, does it?
Last year, Australia's Telecom invested more in Australia and Australian-made products than any other company.
Belconnen Meat Mart have brought new meaning to fast food.
I don't know how you do it.
Tasty sides of lamb, only $1.99 a kilo.
I don't know how you do it, Mum.
T-bone steaks are delicious, $5.99 a kilo.
I don't know how you do it.
There's 145 different temptations at Belconnen Meat Mart.
14-6 as the Raiders come back with the restart.
And the Nissan replay showed from that kick from Eddingshausen that it really is difficult to play a stopgap fullback, and Bell is a very experienced young player in the centre three-quarter and wing position, but at fullback he was found wanting there, even though he got good protection from his skipper Mal Meninga. Shocking pass from dummy half there by the Cronulla side. They've coughed up position, and that is Z-grade stuff.
Well, they showed all the good to climb back. Now they give Canberra a chance to get away again. Clyde!
And what a big first half Bradley Clyde had. He had 10 hit-ups in attack too, which is a tremendous effort when you consider that he's only played 30 minutes of football before this game.
Yeah, Ricky Stewart knows what side his bread's buttered on. Every time he gets the ball, he just looks for Clyde and hits him with it.
Gaffey taking it to the middle of the field. Down a blind side, Walters! Steve Walters just 3 metres away, last tackle. They're lined deep to the right. Stewart. Long passes required. Good ball from Twigg out to Boyle. Boyle back to Meninga, he flicks it. Can't be taken by Bell. And it'll be the handover. They had him stretched out wide, they couldn't finish it off. The defence got there on time. Right on their own 22, Cronulla. Bell. Miller to Diamond. Canberra searching for the next score that they believe might be able to finish Cronulla off.
Cronulla have got 2 Porsches sitting in the garage. I mean, they're just not using Eddingshausen and McGaw. And by the same token, both those players have to go looking for the football. It's no good sitting out there getting cold, waiting for things to happen. E.T. starting to look for it now. Still doesn't come to him.
Kick goes in from Wilson straight to Bell. He takes this one. Stepping, beating the tackle of Russell. He had the ball knocked out of his hands by McGaw, but straight into the arms of Kroger. Kroger still going on halfway.
17 years of age, Jason Kroger, and he's a testimony to the youth policy that Canberra implement.
Stewart with a long ball to Martin. Martin to the outside of his man. Stewart on the inside. Stewart kicking. Ricky Stewart chasing his own kick. Oh, magic! One of the tries of the year so far. This is brilliance. They said he went into the game under an injury cloud. Forget all about it. This is sensational.
Beautiful stuff.
gem in the second half on Nissan Friday night to kick his team clear.
What a marvellous try.
Oh, magnificent skills.
Terrific try. And Ricky Stewart running riot tonight. This is a confidence booster.
Meninga 3 from 4, 3 from 5. The Raiders, though, 18-6.
Flowers in the Attic, the international bestseller, is now a compelling movie.
You must never be seen.
Imprisoned, then forgotten, their only chance for survival was escape. Flowers in the Attic, Saturday at 8:30 on Capital.
What's the first thing you should do tomorrow? Get right on down to your Nissan dealer with your current car. He'll give you a great trade-in, and if you buy a Nissan Pulsar or Nissan Pintara, you'll get 2 years full comprehensive insurance free. That's right, the insurance is totally paid for by Nissan Australia, and that could save some of you thousands of dollars. Everybody, any age, anywhere, regardless of driving history, is eligible. If you hold a current driver's licence, you get the insurance cover. What a great offer. What great peace of mind. As outlined earlier by Ivan Debison, this is a complete, full, comprehensive insurance policy covered by one of Australia's oldest and most respected insurance groups, CIC Insurance. And when you buy a new Nissan Pulsar or Pintara, you not only get the 2 years free insurance, you also get Nissan's exclusive 2-year, 40,000 kilometre, no-cost factory warranty. And tonight, Nissan dealers have these great new car offers. Pulsar Q is the value and luxury leader in its class with a powerful 1.8 litre fuel-injected engine, 4-wheel power discs and a 4-speaker sound system. The sell-a-thon price is only $15,990. Then there's the Pintara Executive, a real winner with a powerful 2-litre engine, 4-speed automatic transmission, power steering and lots of room for 5 people and all their luggage. The sell-a-thon price tonight, $17,990. And what about the Pulsar GL hatch? It's great value with a 1.6 litre fuel-injected engine, powered disc brakes, a great sound system and amazing road holding. Sell-a-thon price just $13,990. Of course, because of Nissan's announcement tonight, over and above the savings on these special prices, you'll get 2 years full comprehensive insurance absolutely free. Nissan will pay that for you. Call us now, 131616, and find out just how much your current car is worth with a no-obligation trade-in valuation, and automatically you're in the draw for the Pulsar GL. Ring us now, 131616.
G'day. What's the problem?
Oh, the old dear's chucked it in.
No worries, I'll give you a hand.
Oh, thanks. Gee, she's flash.
Does the job.
It's a Nissan.
That's my car.
Tonight's Nissan Friday Night Football is proudly brought to you by Nissan and Tooheys Draft.
Tim Sheens, cool, calm and collected in the coach's box. You've got to be excited after that try. It is worth another look the last little bit.
Warm, calm and collected is the coach, but this is Ricky Stewart at his brilliant best. Really is a master of kicking of the football and passing it, and the smile on the face told it all as he went in for it.
Wilson. The Sharks thought they'd climb back into it, and Stewart has a big say. Clyde, he's had a big say all night. The fans want more here at Bruce Stadium.
And it'll be interesting to see how Canberra put Cronulla away. I've got no doubts they're going to win the game, but just how much of that drive and enthusiasm and killer instinct have they got? This fella's got it. The brick outhouse from Ipswich. The mobile outhouse. Look at him go.
He never knows when he's tackled. He just keeps on fighting. Now Barnhill. Flicking it back inside. The confidence is brimming now. Stewart can't handle that one. Stewart was put down when he didn't have the ball. Ward allowed play to continue. Danny Lee. Davidson. Miller. Run around with Ebb. Ebb gets into a hole. Russell. Scrum to go down just outside the Canberra 22. Just managed to create a bit of space for himself to find that angle.
And Barry Russell there sporting a new haircut. I think I know what show he watches on Tuesday nights now, Graham.
7:30. Looks a little bit like Bart Simpson himself, doesn't he?
Sure does.
The way Cronulla are playing, Bart would get in the side.
I won't add to that. Croker.
Those headlight eyes would be good at night matches.
He's a little halfback himself, isn't he?
He certainly is.
Meninga. Meninga raiding away on a blind side, getting right through for Martin. Quick hands to Clyde. Clyde down to Docking. Quick play the ball here, and Cronulla are in a real mess. Walters. Stewart. Meninga. Meninga kicking behind McGaw. Little knock on, was it? No.
No, this is a caution here.
Now, knees in the back, was it?
Over the top. I would like to give the player the benefit of the doubt on this one. Here it is on the Nissan replay, and Mark McGaw goes down and then over the top. I think that was a dead set accident. To my mind, that was an accident, and David Barnhill, the player, the referee, is not going to send him off. This will be a penalty to the Cronulla side. There's the player, Barnhill, in question. I think the young fellow's upset with that. It was an accident. I've got to give him the benefit of the doubt there. No doubt about it. Wayne Pearce, you had a good look at that?
Yeah, I thought it was an accident. It's not within Barnhill's character either. He's a fairly clean player, a tough
Cronulla
player.
in possession, making heavy weather of it at the moment too.
Yeah, they're struggling. I mean, the thing is, when the floodgates start to open, such as is the case with Canberra, it really is tough to try and close that up. And what Cronulla have got to try and do is score some points, at the same time take some risks. But if those risks don't come off, then the floodgates are going to further open.
Try 3. Those penalties to Cronulla. Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen with the ball to McGaw. He's knocked down by Gaffey. Looking for quick scores, the Sharks. Teven stepping back into the arms, though, of Gaffey. Last tackle against Cronulla. Blindside to Miller. Drives it at Croker. He forces the knock on.
Well, there's an opportunity now for Cronulla. They've got to get a try within the next 5 minutes to even get back into this game to give them some semblance of a hope. And that knock-on may be just what they need. Young fellow who's played fairly well tonight, Jason Croker, on that occasion, just knocking on. The scrum win to the Sharks.
Eddinghausen, the ball was meant for Docking. Off the chest of Eddinghausen. He goes for a run from dummy half. Vital passage of play for both sides. Canberra to keep them out of it. Cronulla to climb back in. Well, nobody knows who's about to get the ball in the back line. The second time the Docking has had to pick one up off the grass.
Graham, I haven't seen a Cronulla side play so poorly for a long, long time. Usually they're one of the most competitive sides, a side that play as a team, very well disciplined. Tonight, they are off their game.
They go back to another bomb. Bell comes up with the goods. He's going to be driven back just a metre out from his own line. Takes this one well under a mile of pressure right near his own posts. 11 metres out from their own line now. Boyle. 18-6 to the Raiders. Switching play. Barnhill bouncing out of one. That's a good run to take off the pressure.
He's had a very strong game too, David Barnhill. Another one of the star youngsters that they've got from the country areas in the Riverina area in New South Wales. He's a fine player.
Tantalisingly along that sideline, but it wouldn't break over there for Stewart. Meninga driving them backwards in defence. You've got to hand it to the men that are backing up for Canberra. They've put in big efforts. Meninga and Stewart.
When you're a side trying to run out of trouble and you get knocked back like that, such as Mal Meninga just did, it really doesn't help your confidence at all. And the Cronulla side will be wondering and starting to think to themselves, what can I do to get out of this?
You're right, Graham. Steve Walters, Ricky Stewart and Mal Meninga backing up for the Canberra side have been absolutely magnificent tonight. They've put in, they've G'd the younger fellows up, even walking off at half-time. Steve Walters was walking to his teammates and giving them a G up, and that's a sign of a winner.
So Kenny Ebb was in a mile of trouble there too, leaving the field as we saw him as he disappeared up the tunnel. The scrum to go down on the Canberra 22. Leo Tanoya's out there in 17 for the Sharks. Greg Carberry already out there also in 40. Twig. Not to forget Lazarus, who's backing up from the Blues side as well. He's carved up some metres up the middle.
I think you've got to really give Mal Meninga full credit for his captaincy out there tonight. He's obviously still a bit stiff after the tough game the other night, but he's put on some great balls, some great defence, and he's really led by example.
Great ball put on there by Lazarus for Steve Walters. Stewart taken out by Diamond. Good defence. He decided to go straight into him. Clyde looking to pass. No one was really set, so he just took the tackle. They're on the 6th. Stewart still can't find that sideline. But the defences, the chasing from Canberra has been excellent.
Yeah, they've really given Cronulla a lesson in that regard. They have chased and chased, and you know, you'd like a dog on the hare at Wentworth Park, like the Green Machine have followed through tonight. They have really competed, and they've played this like it's a grand final, and we know what they're like in a pressure situation. I wouldn't be surprised if Tim Sheen says that's enough for his representative players. They've done the job. They've got this game won. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes some changes for the final 20.
Little chip. Ettinghausen's flying. Sitting up. Twig gets there in time. Pushes off Russell. But now he's going to be driven out towards the sideline. Halfway through this second 40. One back by Massey. Now the Sharks lose it, and the Raiders get 6 more. Lazarus turns his back. Gets away from Ettinghausen. Pops up a ball for Boyle. Went into no man's land. Barnhill gets back to it. Takes the tackle. Turns his back, unloads for Bell. Always somebody there in support for the Raiders tonight.
Yeah, a lot more purpose, a lot more determination in everything that Canberra are doing.
Quick hands from Stewart. Meninga. Dummy to Clyde. 3 Sharks hang on. Walters goes for another run. They clean him up on the first tackle. It was Danny Lee. Gappy. Midfield, 40 metres out, last tackle. Stewart. Out of the hands of Teven. Over the sideline. The Raiders will come up with the feed. 18 points to 6.
The biggest concert ever since Live Aid. The world's greatest stars in a global campaign for Kurdish refugees. Brad Robinson presents The Stars. The event. The Simple Truth. Monday on Capital.
What gets most people out of one home and into another? Is it the neighbours? Is it the view? Or is it the location? Actually, it's a bank. One that has loaned more to help people move home than any other bank.
Which bank?
Today's modern family needs sufficient hot water to meet its daily requirements. So it's important that your home has a hot water system which will always meet the demands and be cost efficient. With New Age Electric half-price hot water, you'll have hot water when you need it because New Age Electric's twin-element tank works day or night and your hot water costs a lot less. Contact ACT Electricity and Water about New Age half-price hot water and efficient use of resources.
Belconnen Meat Mart have brought new meaning to fast food.
I don't know how you do it.
Tasty sides of lamb, only $1.99 a kilo.
I don't know how you do it, Mum.
T-bone steaks are delicious, $5.99 a kilo.
I don't know how you do it.
There's 145 different temptations at Belconnen Meat Mart.
Lounge suite prices have come to a crash at the Lounge Suite Warehouse, Queanbeyan. 2 big semi-trailers of fabric 3-piece lounge suites have arrived and prices have been sent crashing as low as $499 and $699. These suites are a crazy $399. Luxury lounge suites crash to $699. And kids' chairs are just $2 each with every suite sold. So hurry in to the Lounge Suite Warehouse, Crawford Street, Queanbeyan.
Enjoy European technology at an affordable price. Frank Reynolds introduced their exciting Gurindji Pacific collection, featuring stylish and economical future designs, like this Gurindji Pacific wall oven and this underbench oven. Gurindji have modern refrigeration for all needs and can conserve energy in the laundry. This front-load washer has an energy saver switch. And these automatic washing machines use less water and power. Discover the superb Gurindji Pacific collection at Frank Reynolds Retrovision, Colley Street, Fishwick.
18-6 at the Bruce Stadium on Nissan Friday night. And the Raiders with an all-important feat here.
Yeah, certainly is. And a young fellow on for Canberra, 43, Matt Baker on. And off is Nigel Gaffey. Now, Baker came here tonight thinking he was going to be on the reserves bench for reserve grade. But while the reserve grade had started, Gary Coyne, the State of Origin forward for Queensland, withdrew. And the coach had no alternative to put the fresh kid on the bench for first grade, and he's out there getting a taste of it.
Great way to get on too when your side's leading and playing well and with plenty of confidence. Here comes a try. Meninga gets his second. It was almost arrogance. Almost arrogance from Meninga. Stewart was smiling when he scored. He joins the smiling brigade himself.
Yeah, big chicken George. Mal Meninga gets the try, and it's young Twig. Ricky Stewart again, a beautiful pass on the Nissan replay. Good step from Twig. He throws the dummy. How confident's he? He says, here, Captain, have this. And look at Meninga. Takes on Jonathan Docking. His nickname's Pixie, and he looked like one then.
Yeah, Ricky Stewart here takes the ball after the pass from Todd, takes the ball to the defensive line, and isn't he a danger when he does that? Slipped a beautiful pass onto Twig. Look at that Cronulla defensive line. That's just about as ragged as you'd ever want to see. Jonathan Docking, no chance of stopping Mal Meninga that close to the line.
Well, if Todd couldn't keep the ball alive here, then there was no try on at all. He did well, he popped it up, but the break was made because Craig Teevan, the Cronulla 5'8", slipped over there in the back play. Twig did very, very well to step around the defenders. Mal Meninga was there, and have a look at this. He just says, get out of my way, Docking.
3 from 5 for Meninga. And the State of Origin stamp has been put all over this performance by Canberra. 2 tries to Stewart and a double for Meninga. Very relaxed Canberra camp now with Sheens and Daly locking up 2 Winfield Cup points.
And a vital too, because it keeps them in it, and defeat tonight makes it a long, hard haul for Cronulla, and unfortunately for them, you can't play every game at home.
They've given good entertainment to their fans at home tonight, the Raiders. 12,500 fans here. They were waiting to cheer that kick on, but it goes wide. It remains 22-6 to the Raiders. Not happy with his goal-kicking, Meninga, but his general form in this match is tremendous. Now Ricky Stewart looking as though he gets an early mark.
Mal Meninga looking over, wishing he could get one. And when the young fellow came on, Matt Baker, it was noticeable that Bradley Clyde looked up, and I think that Bradley thought he was going to get an early mark, but not so. Tim Sheen said, plenty of football for you.
Clyde out there to get his match fitness. And now another run. Still plenty of time, but Cronulla have got nowhere near finding their best form.
Going to be a long way home tonight for the Cronulla supporters, and plenty of them made the trip to Canberra tonight to watch their team, and they're going to be disappointed. You don't mind when you travel and your side plays as well as they can, but we know Cronulla can play a lot better than this. Here's Walters again, up the centre.
Steve Walters trying to get it over the top for Lazarus. It fell for Baker. Now Boyle. Boyle's taken 34 metres out on the last tackle. Twig kicking, trying to keep this into the in-goal area. Docking gets across quickly. He knew what was on. But every time Docking comes back too, either Docking or Boyle, and Big Mao just sweats on them both.
Yeah, he certainly has had a big game in defence tonight as well, Mal Meninga. He's led them up, and a fine captain's knock all round from him.
I think I said Boyle. I meant to say Paul Bell, the Cronulla winger. Now Tanoi. The Sharks working it out of their danger zone. They've been under so much pressure, and one man who's kept them under all that pressure most of the night, Ricky Stewart, who's joined Bill and Wayne sideline.
Ricky, you're entitled to be tired. That's the most running I think I've seen you do for a long time.
Yes, Billy. I set out before the game. I mean, I set out to do a lot of running. I spoke to Tim before the game, and I had the opportunity to do it. You know, I know I can run. I know I can do those sort of things. It's just a matter of getting the opportunities, and I suppose you make your own opportunities, and you know, I've just set out to make myself those opportunities to try and do it. I know I've been a little bit quiet in the running department lately, but you know, I've copped a bit of a bagging lately, so you know, I've set out to do more running and try and play obviously better football.
Ricky, and one of the reasons that you've probably been a little bit sluggish in the running department is that groin injury. There was plenty of talk before the match that you may not even get on the paddock. Having got on the paddock, there was talk that you may not finish the season. You may have to have an operation. What's the prognosis?
Yeah, that's true, but you know, I spoke to Tim to great length today and yesterday about the injury. You know, I iced it for a long time after the Origin game on Wednesday night, and I've been icing and working on it with physio all yesterday and today. And it's come up okay. It's just a matter of you know, how it pulls up after each game. But I mean, you can't blame injuries. You know, if you go out in the field, you expect to be 100%.
Congratulations, great game. Enjoy the early mark.
Thank you.
I'd like to see how good he could play, Pete, if he wasn't injured.
Yeah, he accepts criticism very well, Ricky Stewart. I mean, he knows that he hasn't been running, and he went out there to do it tonight, and he did. And it's always difficult when you know that if you stretch out, something could go, and that could mean a season. That's a sign of a class player, and he is just that. And he certainly is of benefit to Canberra when he's in that mood that he was tonight. He's a fine player, and I hope he gets over those injuries because Canberra need him desperately.
He also said to me off camera that he believes you're only as good as your last game, and he was doubly determined tonight to have a big one.
Magor won't get out of his own 22. The missed tackles tell you it's 22 against the Sharks, just 6 against the Raiders. And you guessed it, that just happens to be the reverse on the scoreboard. Miller. Last tackle against Cronulla. Haven't been able to show anything. Teven gets his kick in. Croker. Wrapped up by Wilson.
And one of the big problems with Cronulla all night has been the fact that they've had problems getting out of their own quarter, out of their own half. Even with that kick, they've only got the ball back to halfway. Now they're under pressure yet again.
Baker playing it. Walters really does believe every time he takes off now he can get through.
Well, he's super confident, isn't he? And why not? I mean, everything he's doing, he's doing very well. He's just continuing that marvellous game he had on Wednesday night, and that looks like that's enough for him too.
Meninga out over the sideline. Steve Walters exits. Another State of Origin hero for the fans here. They're giving him a standing ovation.
Yeah, and Brett Boyd goes on. He's out of the under-21s.
Meninga's probably next. That will be the next Raw.
They haven't got too many more.
Russell nearly got clear, and it was Clyde who broke from the scrum to get him. Miller. Docky. Head for Davidson. Never's done well to get back out there.
It's quite obvious that Tim Sheens wants 80 minutes out of his star young forward in Bradley Clyde, and this has been a big night for Canberra. Not just the 2 points, but almost as important for them is that man getting through so far every bit of this game, just like the Bradley Clyde before he had that terrible knee operation which required reconstruction.
Chris Ward has got the Raiders for a shepherd.
And Tim Sheens has got a vested interest in seeing Bradley Clyde get through the 80 minutes, of course, being the New South Wales coach. He'd want him fit for that.
He certainly would. Here's the Nissan replay of this obstruction, and definitely going through number 42, Mark Bell, obstructing that young man, David Barnhill, the son of the president of the Country Rugby League by the same name.
At last they get a rest.
Enemies on Friday night and teammates again tonight. It's an amazing game, isn't it? In 48 hours. Makes a big change for those two.
Andrew Eddinghausen headed for his second loss in just 3 days. Carberry. 22-6 to Canberra. Massey. The lone try scorer for Cronulla. Davidson going without. Miller trying to stay alive out of tackles. He gets it back to Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen, little chip for himself. Kicks it again. Eddinghausen rushing past Bell. Bell handing it. Dead in goal. A rare touch and a rare chance for Eddinghausen in this match.
Yeah, Eddinghausen showing here that he's got a lot of skill on the ground as well. A lot of pressure on Bell, and he did the right thing, putting it out the back door. But ET just hasn't been able to get into this game tonight. When your forwards don't go forward, it makes it very hard for players in the back line like Eddinghausen and McGaw to get into the football game. And Wayne Pearce, perhaps they should have gone looking for it a little bit more, but it has just been a disjointed performance that every time they've gone looking for it, it's gone the other way.
Yeah, the problem is also that they haven't been in the field position where even if they could go looking for it, they were a threat. I mean, they've been camped down in their own half for probably 60-70% of this match, and that really has killed any chance that Eddinghausen, McGaw, or their attacking strike players have had.
The Raiders come up with it. Gregory playing it back. Baker just outside his own 22.
Well, where do Cronulla go from here besides Perth? They've got to make some changes to this side. I mean, there's so many players in their side tonight that are playing on reputations, and they will be disappointed themselves. They have to really take stock of this performance because it's not good enough to get them anywhere near the top 5.
And if they don't like travelling away from home, they're in trouble the next few weeks. I mean, they go to Perth next week, then they're off to Brisbane and the Gold Coast in the coming month.
Yeah, it sounds like the Cronulla Globetrotters. Canberra, Perth, and then they take on Brisbane. So it's a real grand final for them, though, at the Wacker in Perth against Parramatta next Friday night.
Yeah, the problems they're having aren't all that easy for coaches to work on. If there's skill areas that are down or tactical areas, you can do something about it. But to me, it just looks like lack of drive with things like that happening. People not coming up to the ball to hit the advantage line. They're the things that make it tough on coaches.
And also slow play the balls, Bill. I mean, tonight they've been comprehensively outplayed at the play the ball, particularly with speed. And have a look at this one.
But, Bill, they're the same side that we've seen compete week in, week out almost for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, they never had a great year towards the end of 1990.
Well, here goes Croker. Croker to the open with support too. Knocked down by Carberry. It had to be because Meninga and Martin were still on the outside waiting for it.
He's confident for a 17-year-old, isn't he? Jason Croker certainly getting out into open space and not afraid to throw the long pass either, and for 17 years of age, certainly got a heck of a future in front of him, and Canberra are blessed with some outstanding young players in their ranks. They've won both the 21s and reserve grade tonight.
I told you about the next roar as the Raiders come up with it and get through. But Meninga has made his way to the sideline to grab a seat alongside his State of Origin teammate, I should say, Steve Walters, and his opponent, Ricky Stewart. They've all had a fine night out here on the one side tonight in the Canberra Raiders outfit. Todd. So they were missing stars prior to the game through injury, and now all their big names are on the sideline. One point. Unsuccessful. They set up for Jason Gregory. He had all the time in the world, but he couldn't meet it well enough. And for Cronulla, this is the same story, where they've had to bring the ball away from their own 22 right throughout the evening. Lee. It was only a couple of weeks ago, though, Pete, you were at a Canterbury Cronulla game where you were talking about what an impressive game it was, and excellent play from both sides. Excellent play from both sides. One of the best games of the year 2 weeks ago at home, and what a fortnight, what a difference a fortnight has made to Cronulla. Canterbury have gone on, of course, and won last Friday night Nissan football, but you know, it certainly isn't the same Cronulla side tonight, and their record, Graham, away from home, as we keep saying, I think last July or August was their last win away from home. Last July, and that's a long time. Now Russell. I've been in too many scrums. I've tipped them tonight. McGaw.
I'll remind you, Pete, you weren't on your own.
No, a few too many for you, Junior.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
The gang of three.
Yeah.
Miller.
We had to bring it up because you would have.
Russell. Should say Wilson. He can't get it back inside. Just on 3 minutes remaining. Russell. Russell dummies his way through. Russell getting to the last line. Gets the ball away. Carberry can't handle it. A try goes begging. Russell had done well with his skills. A dummy, a little bit of a step to get down to the last line. Eddinghausen out wide. Ball ends up into the hands of Carberry. He didn't take it. Lost opportunity, but one of the rare ones. Baker. This is the win the Winfield Cup premiers have been looking for. A win that can give them a real roll on now. They've still got difficult matches ahead. Disruptions to training because of the talent they've got in representative football.
And it hasn't been just a win, Graham. It's been a really good win. They've toiled well all night. They've played with a lot of enthusiasm. They've played with a lot of commitment, and they're back on the trail.
Yeah, they've got their spark back tonight and their enthusiasm, and that's very important because they are going to have a host of players in the representative team.
Well, they were expected, though, Pete, weren't they? Because they were minor premiers in all three last year. They won 2 titles, and the depth was there, so maybe some of the young guys are paying back tonight. Yeah, exactly right. And, Graham, it is so difficult to win 3 premierships, and that must be hovering over them as they struggled in the early rounds with a lot of injuries to star players. But this has been a red letter night for them tonight because with Bradley Clyde back, the young players coming through, Stewart proving that that he's an outstanding player, even with that cloud over that groin injury, and they've really come up trumps tonight. They're ready for anything ahead of them. Just 60 seconds remain. Miller takes the angle over the sideline. Scrum feed for the Raiders. They should finish in possession. Long, hard night for Gavin Miller.
And I'm crossing the Sharks off my possible 5 now. They, on this performance tonight, certainly no hope, and they're getting too far back anyway, even if they were to make a run.
Yeah, but it still does give that importance to next Friday night.
No.
A grand final match.
It's got to be. If they don't win in Perth, that is it.
Gregory sends Martin on a run. Tim Sheens has headed down to the dressing rooms to meet up with his players.
It's been a week of real mixed emotions for him, hasn't it? The coach, Timmy Sheens, the disappointment of Wednesday night and the euphoria of this performance.
He must be happy with this performance after so much pressure before the game with players dropping out. Lowry. There it is. There'll be no more for Cronulla. 12,500 Raiders fans here, though, at the Bruce Stadium. They'd be happy to sit around for a few more tries. Excellent performance from their side under pressure tonight. The Sharks were disappointing, but now it'll be a real tough call for them in Perth next Friday night against Parramatta. Some young men in this Canberra club have stood up tonight. Clyde has performed well, starting to get his fitness back, but the State of Origin stars have really given some back to their coach, Tim Sheens. 22-6, Canberra over Cronulla. Stewart got a double, Meninga got a double. Meninga 3 goals, Massey the try for Cronulla. 1 goal from Wilson. 22-6. We'll be back with our Nissan man of the match after this break.
Nothing too serious. Meaty Bites Working Dog Formula, especially formulated with 5-way nourishment for the extra energy working dogs need to deliver a good day's work. Meaty Bites Working Dog Formula keeps your dog in good shape 5 ways.
Your superannuation grows with small, regular investments. Most personal super funds, though, have high costs and hidden charges, which drain your investments dramatically. But GIO has lower costs and no hidden charges, so more money is working for you right from the start. Plan more security for your future. Check with GIO Australia. Phone 008 024 052 for a free brochure.
The spread of serious children's diseases can be stopped with a simple immunisation program. If you're not sure when your child should be immunised, just pick up the phone and dial this number. Do it now, before your child picks up something else.
It's Triffitt's thumping great sale, round 1 Albany Street this weekend.
Don't go to the amateurs, we're flogging Leatherlocks, $99!
And $385, $750, $850, $995. Kitchen suites, every combination from $199. This dining's taken a caning down to $299. Every buffet and hutch, every wall unit.
Some with Nick's, $99!
Hundreds of lounges knocked down, $399, $570, $750.
Sofa beds, late 8 from $299.
And Triffitt's are undisputed electrical champions. Oil heaters $125, mini systems $135, video players $299, videos $399, heavyweight washers $579, dishwashers $679, microwaves on the ropes $185, and 34cm colour TVs flattened at $349, 48cm $499.
All fridges ain't cold, 10% on cost.
Triffitt's Albany Street thumping great sale this weekend.
The Freedom Fighters!
Welcome back. Well, 2 games in 3 days for Ricky Stewart. He's second here tonight on our Nissan man of the match. Ricky, that's how easy it is, isn't it? 2 matches in 3 days.
Well, yeah, it was pretty tough to back up, but There's a lot of guys from our team who had to do it, and you know, it was a hard call to back up on the Friday night, but we did it and did it well.
All the State of Origin guys in the side played well.
Yeah, it was. You know, it's great to see the guys come back and play well. 2 games in 3 days is very difficult, but you know, it's very impressive to see that, and hopefully we can return to form.
Well, here's something to help the form, and a few celebrations tonight. $1,000 from Nissan as our man of the match.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks to Nissan, and thank you.
All right, well played. Picked up 8 points in our Dally M Award for 1991 as well, Ricky Stewart. Not far behind those State of Origin players of Walters and Meninga. And a great comeback tonight too from Bradley Clyde, who will give those selectors something to think about. For State of Origin number 2, you can read all the Dally M points in Monday's Telegraph Mirror. Of course, Ricky Stewart might also have his eyes on the fabulous Nissan Pathfinder 4x4. This fabulous 4-wheel drive from Nissan will be our prize for the Dally M Player of the Year, $25,000 worth of on-road vehicle. That's what will end up in the hands of our Dally M Player of the Year. Of course, tonight, more importantly, footy tablets check the dividend.
Put your money where your mouth is. Footy tab.
Quite a big scoreline in favour of Canberra tonight, 22 points to 6, and a lot of winners, 181 winners. In fact, that surprises me a little. The provisional dividend, $265.70.
Steve, the general feeling in the dressing room seems to be that that's the best the team's played all year. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, I think so, Bill. It was a good team effort, right from Brent Todd and Glenn Lazarus up front through the rest of the forwards and Clydie and Ricky, and I thought the whole 13 done their job really well.
Now, you had a few stern words to say during the week about Ben Elias. Do you regret that now?
Oh, a little bit. I probably went over the mark a little bit, but he's always had plenty to say about the Queenslanders, you know, and it's no good me shooting my mouth off anymore now. I've just got to wait and hopefully get another chance against him, and I'll be doing my best on the field then.
Well, Brad, a great game tonight. Obviously put 9 months of misery well and truly behind you.
Yeah, that's true, Wayne. Testing time during that period, and now I've come through and the knee feels strong, and I'm able to sort of complete games. And I asked him to keep me on for the game, and I was probably a passenger there for the last 15. But I'm glad he did play me out.
There were plenty of disruptions and injuries to key players leading up to this game. Did you feel any added pressure on your shoulders?
Yeah, all the guys that trained throughout the week and weren't involved in the State of Origin team sort of put it among themselves to lift their games. We had to lift our games anyway because we've been on the receiving end a couple of times this year, and we want to put paid to all that.
And you played strongly for the full 80 minutes. Are you ready for State of Origin football?
Well, that's a hard one. That's completely in the selectors' hands, but you know, I'd enjoy it if I got selected.
For the next one?
Yeah, let's hope so.
I think the New South Wales coach, Tim Sheens, would enjoy him being picked, as well as all New South Wales League followers. Maybe not so Queensland. He was good tonight, Clyde, Peter.
He certainly was. He's a magnificent young player, and to get through that game like he did without having the match fitness or just the timing, it was the sign of a class player. We know he is, but to come back from a knee reconstruction like that is good news for the game, I think.
I think you guys were convinced that a lot of changes to this Canberra side before the kick-off. You went the other way with the Sharks.
Yeah, well, I had a look at Ricky Stewart at breakfast on the morning after the State of Origin. I didn't think he'd come up, and certainly he did tonight. And their big players came up and just showed that you can back up 48 hours after, and more egg on the face. And that seems to be happening a lot on Friday night football, where upsets are the norm. I think that, you know, on form shown so far, Canberra are entitled to be favourites, but not with the side they took in. But names don't mean a thing. Those young fellows came through well. It's a good night for the club.
Yeah, and some experienced men like Meninga, Stewart, Walters and Clyde, who led the way for the Raiders here. There could be an upset on the weekend. Big one there, of course, with Penrith and West. Plenty of rugby league coming your way on Channel 10. Tomorrow morning, of course, Commonwealth Bank Cup that comes to you from the Bruce Stadium here in Canberra. Copeland College versus Lake Tuggeranong. I think I got that out right. MMI big game Sunday, Penrith Football Stadium. The Panthers at home taking on West. You can see all that 6:30 p.m. Of course, Sunday night right here on 10. And Sunday night, Dick Smith Electronics Late Night League. Nice story there with Wayne Pearce on Sunday night too about Greg Buckley, a young man who was lost to the game through injury but has fought back brilliantly in life to, well, really passed at all his university exams. And it's a great story to look forward to on Sunday night with Wayne Pearce. Nissan Friday Night Football next Friday. We come live back to the Wacker. It is for us in Perth. Cronulla taking on Parramatta in what now, for them, is a virtual grand final to stay in touch with the top 5. Tonight, of course, Canberra are well and truly staying in touch with the top 5, starting to find some of their best. The answer here at the Bruce Stadium tonight, the champs are back and finding some of their best form. Hope you enjoyed all the action. Look forward to your company on Sunday night. Until then, good night, everybody.
Friday Night Football was brought to you by the Nissan Patrol, the heavyweight in four-wheel driving.
It's on this Saturday, the homeworld towering over Tuggeranong sale. There's even a playground for the kids.
Hiring or buying, we have everything you need for a trip to the snow at CSE Camping and Sports Equipment. Helen's Curtain Centre have free curtain making from the huge range of fabrics in stock. Now that is special. Complete Lock and Security Services have a wide range of security products and services. Emergency, call us 24 hours a day. We'll see you Saturday at Homeworld Tuggeranong with easy parking and terrific savings.
Unlock the mystery of eternal life.
No one ever gets sick, no one ever gets old, and no one ever dies.
Discover the fountain of youth.
As long as we're here, keep getting older.
Journey to the most wonderful place in the universe. Home.
Hello, darling.
For the first time, Steve Gutenberg.
One of my favorite Martians.
Tani Welch, Academy Award winner Don Amici, and the rest of the original cast. Sunday, 8:30 on Capital. Experience the wonder of Cocoon: The Return.
Hi, I'm Peggy Lipton. Visit me for a cup of coffee at the Double R Diner in Twin Peaks, Tuesday on the Entertainment Network.
The 10 Eyewitness News, 2nd edition, brought to you by Mobil.
This is the 10 Eyewitness News, 2nd edition.
Good evening, I'm Ron Wilson. After one of their worst weeks in 8 years of government, there's more speculation in the Labour Party tonight about Prime Minister Hawke's leadership. The biggest cause of backbench dismay is the record unemployment and the handling of the WA Inc. and Brian Burke.
The disappearance of jobs is sending shudders through the ranks of federal Labour MPs. A national phone survey of welfare recipients today gave a clue why.